Hello everyone. Our Discovery Island book, grade 6. Our lesson for today is in Unit 8, Lesson 9. The lesson for today is a culture lesson. The title for the lesson is Our Families. So we are going to learn about families in different cultures. What countries do you think the pictures are from? Look at these pictures and try to guess from what countries are these pictures taken. What do you think this picture here is taken from what country? You can say that it is taken from a country in Asia. Here it is taken from a country in one of the Gulf countries. And here you can say that from the house, the building of the house, we can say that it's a country in Africa. Now, in your pupils book, page 96, I want you to read the three texts that we have here. We have three texts written by three different kids from three different countries about their families. You are going to read them and match each text with the correct picture. After you finish reading, you're going to match the text with the correct picture, and you will pause this video here. And after you finish reading, you're going to play the video again, and we are going to discuss together the main vocabs in this lesson and read together, and we're going to answer some questions about the text. So go on, pause the video and start reading. Okay, after you finish reading, now you know that this picture is from Thailand, this picture is from Saudi Arabia, and this picture is from Ghana. Let's see what new vocabs we have, new vocabularies we have in our lesson for today. We have the word position, which means having or owning something. If I say that this is my position, means I own it. So, for example, this man here, he owns this house, so this house is his position. In the text, which was about Ghana country, the boy there, Coffee, he says that families share positions. So positions there are shared by children or families. So if one kid have, for example, a computer, that computer will be shared by all the children in the family. Next word we have is equipment. What do I mean by equipment? Equipment means things that are used for a particular purpose. Things used for a particular purpose. Example is sport equipment, which was mentioned in the text. That's what I mean by sport equipment. Things that are used for doing sport. Then we have the word rural, which we actually did take in Unit 4 before. So rural means people or life in the countryside village. So the people who live in the countryside or in the village, or the life in the village or the countryside is called rural. We have the word festival, which means a special day, usually a religious day, that people gather and celebrate. Example, in our religion, in Islam, we have Ramadan is a festival. The Eid, the two Eids are festivals that we celebrate and gather. Then we have the word privacy. Privacy means to be able to do things without other people seeing or disturbing you. So that word was mentioned in by Seni in the Thailand text. He said that there is no privacy in the house because 3 generations lives in one small house. So of course there will be no privacy. There is no way that you can stay alone and do things by yourself without people seeing or disturbing you. The last word is the word neighbor, which I think most of you do know it. Who is the neighbor? It's the person who lives near you, near your house, or in the same street. So it's either exactly near next to you or in the same street. In the same street, all the people who live in the same street are called neighbors. Let's go to the text now that we know the new vocab. We can read the text together. The first paragraph written by Kofi from Ghana. He says, I live with my parents and my two brothers in Ghana. Most families share their positions. Children don't usually have their own computers, bikes, or sports equipment. That's why it's important to get on well with your siblings. In Ghana, the family is the most important thing in people's lives. Many people live in cities now, but they still have a close relationship with their relatives in rural areas. We always return to our parents' village to celebrate festivals, gatherings, and special days. I love those occasions because it's nice to see my grandparents and all my aunts and uncles and cousins again. So people in Ghana has a great relationship with their little relatives, even if they move outside the village. When it's festivals time or special occasions, they go back to the village and celebrate with the family, the grandparents, and the aunts and uncles. So, which of these three pictures is from Ghana? Of course, it's C. Next text is Sini from Thailand. Like most Thai people in the countryside, there are three generations living in one house. I live with my brother, my parents, and my grandmother. Our houses aren't big, so we don't get much time alone. It's difficult to find privacy, but I like living with a lot of people because there is always someone around to talk to or play a game with. Thai children have different jobs to do in the house and on the land. We are taught to respect people who are older than us, and we enjoy looking after elderly people in our community. So people in Thailand live in one house. Three generations means the children, their parents, and their grandparents, they all live in one house. So there are lots of people there in the house, and it's hard to find privacy in such houses. The good thing that they are taught since they were little children to respect older people and to look after elderly people in their society or in their community. So this one here is number or letter A. The last paragraph we have is Hamza from Saudi Arabia. He says, I live with my parents and my sister. My mother works as a nurse. She also looks after children aged 3 and 4 while their parents are at work. When they are all in the living room, it is very noisy. My best friend is also my neighbor. When we are ready to walk to school in the morning, we just call each other from the garden and walk together. I think it's important to get on well with your neighbors. We all live so close to each other, so I hope we never fall out. So, yes, of course, Hamza from Saudi Arabia, which is this picture here, he says that his mother is a nurse and B. She looks after children aged 3 and 4. And that he is it's important to get well with their neighbors, so they have a good relationship with their neighbors, uh, and it's important to have good relationship with your neighbors because you live so close to each other. Let's see what questions we have to discuss in this lesson. Okay, question number 1. Why do most families in Ghana share their positions? Why do you think they share their positions? Yes, it's because children don't usually have their own computers, bikes, and sport equipment. Not each child will have his own equipments or his own computers. Where do people in Ghana celebrate festivals and social occasions, and why? Of course, they celebrate festivals and social occasions in their parents' village. So they go back to the village and they celebrate all together because gathering with family relatives is very important in Ghana. Why is it difficult to be alone and to have privacy in a Thai house? It's because there are three generations who live in one house and the house isn't big. So it's impossible to have privacy in a house like that. Last question is, why is it important to get along with your neighbor? It's because we will all live so close to each other. So we have to have good relationships with our neighbors because we live near each other. Okay, now again, these three countries, each country has a moral or something that is good that they do. The first thing we have having strong relationship with the family and relatives and celebrating festivals with them. Which one is this one? Which one is the first one? Having strong which country has strong relationship with the family and relatives and celebrate festivals with them? Of course, that is in Ghana. Getting on well with neighbors and having good relationship with them, that was in Saudi Arabia. Living together and respecting older people and enjoying looking after elderly people in the community, that was in Thailand. All these morals, all these things are we are asked and taught to do in our religion and in our society, in our community. Okay, so that was the People's Book, Activity Book, page 90. You have activity number 24, read and match the text to the photographs. We have two texts here. Again, we're going to read together and then we're going to match each text with the correct picture. I live in Italy with my parents and my two sisters. We live in an apartment in Sicily. My family is big and loud and we love spending time together. My grandparents live in the same building as us and my uncle lives 5 minutes away. So we see each other all the time. Every evening, my grandmother cooks a big meal and we all go to her apartment after school and eat together. My parents both work long hours, and so we spend a lot of time with my grandparents. I'm very close to my grandfather. He helps me with my homework and tells me stories about when he was a little boy. Text number 2. I live in Shanghai in China. I have a small family. It's just me and my parents because my grandparents live in the country a long way away. A long way away. Not many people in China have siblings because in 1979 there was a law saying that most parents could only have one child. I don't mind being an only child. I have a lot of opportunities and I like having my parents all to myself. We make sure we always eat together every evening and we talk about our days. I never feel lonely. I have lots of friends at school and I am very close to my neighbors. Things are changing now in China, so maybe in the future people will have bigger families. So yes, which text is the picture number A, which has a big family and they gather together in a meal, and of course that was number 1. And B is the small family, the only kid in the family, which is number 2 in China. Next, answer the questions with Lorenzo and Shang or both. So you're going to answer, is it Chang here, or is it Lorenzo? The first one. This is Lorenzo and this is Chang, or both. Who lives with their parents? Of course, both of them. Who lives near their grandparents? Which one? Is it Chang or is it Lawrence who lives near his grandparents? It's Lorenzo. Who is an only child? Yes, it's Chang. Who has a large family? Well done, it's Lorenzo. Who eats with their family every day? That's both of them. They eat with their families, but one of them eats with a big family, which is grandparents, and one eats just with his parents, his small family. Who gets on with their neighbors? That was Chang, who gets on with his neighbors because he doesn't have brothers. Okay, question number or activity number 26. We're going to answer the questions and write about your own family. Do you have a big or small family? You're going to answer this question. Question number 2. Do you have any siblings and do you get on with them? Do you have, question number 3, do you live near any other family members? And finally, do you eat with your family every day? You're going to answer these questions, these 4 questions here, and then write a small paragraph here about your life with your family. Okay, you can add more things. You don't have to stick to these 4 questions. I want you to write it down and uh, send it to me, please. Take a photo of it and send it to me. I would really be very happy to see your writings. Thank you very much. That was our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. See you in our next lesson and goodbye.